Hello, good morning, everybody. Welcome to our webinar today. I'm Amber from Small Business Britain. I'm really excited. We've got loads of you signed up today, and we're talking all things AI and content creation, which I know are super important topics to small businesses. I've got some hearts coming through already. I love it. There's over 100 of you on here already, so I'm super excited to get going. We've got the amazing Natalie Luckham with us today. She is the founder of Naturally Social, helping small businesses all the time with their marketing and demonstrating how you can create positive change in a digital world. So really honored to have Natalie with us today. She's going to be talking through loads and loads of important topics. So what AI tools are on the market at the moment, how to create an AI policy, how to get the best out of Canva and ChatGPT, and key considerations for implementing AI. I want to say a massive thank you to Lloyds Bank Academy for continuing to partner with us on these amazing webinars that we've been bringing to you for a couple of years now. There's loads more over on the Lloyds Bank Academy website as well, which is all totally free. You don't have to be a customer or anything like that. Can see loads of you getting involved in the chat. Please do say hello. Let us know your business and where you are in the UK. Always love to see who's on the calls with us. Any questions, which I'm sure you'll all have a lot, please put them into the Q&A section. I will be keeping an eye on all of the questions, and I'll ask Natalie them at the end of her lovely presentation. Okay, cool. That is enough from me. Natalie, over to you.
Thanks, Amber. And again, thank you for the opportunity to be here today. And big thanks to Lloyds Bank Academy as well for running these sessions. As a small business owner myself, I know how super important it is to be able to access free learning and education. And that's kind of why I jumped at the opportunity to share this presentation with you today and to do a bit of demoing. So as Amber said, I'm Natalie. I'm the founder of Naturally Social, and we resource the difference makers of the world. We do that through social media management and communications expertise. Either that's campaign work or monthly retained social media management services. So we provide the skills and resources missing in-house for our clients. The business is 9 years old. You can follow us on all social media. So I'd love to hear from some of you guys afterwards, during, right now. I've got Rachel in the background checking our socials, and if you tag us in anything, we'll give it a share. You can find us at NLY Social on basically everything: Threads, TikTok, X, Facebook, Pinterest, LinkedIn. And there's our email address as well, for you to have a look at. If you guys, actually, if Rachel is listening, just give me a thumbs up to say that everything looks good and sounds okay. That would be amazing. I shall continue onwards in the hopes that it is. So we did do a big, oh, thank you very much. We did a bit of a test beforehand, and I was really conscious that we got the tech right. And then, funnily enough, I jumped on with Amber, and it was different. So bear with if when we come to the demo, there is any problems of like switching between screens. Cool. So this is what we're covering today, as Amber said, key considerations for implementing AI, talking briefly about some of the tools on the market and what they can be used for. We'll then do a demonstration just so you can see, for those who don't know, what things like ChatGPT looks like, and particularly Canva. And I put Canva in here because I know a lot of small business owners use Canva and we can't get away from it. And there are a couple of really cool little tools that we love, and I just want to share it as a bit of fun, as a fun exercise, really. And then I'm just going to finish off talking about policies. It might sound boring, but it's fundamental. Okay, so let's start with why me, why AI. So I began my career in social about 12 years ago, and it's actually been about 12 months now since I became curious about AI. This is a picture of me with Mike Stelzner from Social Media Examiner and the founder of Social Media Marketing World in San Diego. And this time last year, I was there for the second year in a row, listening to some of the industry's experts, and there was a lot of talk about AI last year, uh, and it was really, really interesting. And it was one of those moments where I thought things are changing, and we can't ignore this. So As with everything in the social and digital landscape, when I started, I see myself as a practitioner. And so I became a practitioner of AI. And I started to research, read, listen, experiment, but not start using. And I think for me, one of the things I've seen is that people just go like, oh, apparently ChatGPT is really quick and it'll give you loads of content. So they just set up an account and start going. And we'll come on to why that's not really the best way to address this. What I would say is, hands up, I am not an expert in AI, but I am keen to share my learnings from the last 12 months because I really believe that what underpins any use of AI in this day and age is education and knowledge sharing. And I think that's super important for a whole variety of reasons, not least safety and accessibility and ethics. So yeah, not an expert. I will be sharing my learnings and my understanding so far, and I hope it inspires you to get thinking about how it could be used in your small business for content creation. So we're using AI all the time, right? So if people say, oh my God, it's so scary, like the robots are coming, they're going to take over the world. Well, if you're on YouTube, YouTube's suggesting videos for you, that's AI. Gmail is finishing your sentences, as is Microsoft, that's AI. Facebook targeting you with ads, AI. Spotify learning the music you love, AI. Alexa and Siri, they're AI. Um, Amazon predicts, Netflix recommends, all of these have been around for, years, and that is fundamentally artificial intelligence at its early stages. Um, this quote was one that stood out for me when I was putting this presentation together because I wanted to get this point across as like artificial intelligence, particularly in the creative sector, artificial intelligence is a tool, not a threat. And I say that in terms of the creative sector because I know so many experts in copywriting and design and social media who would be or have been worried about tools because, they're like, I was going to take the work and if everybody else can just do this, then what's the need for us? But actually, what I've seen, witnessed, and experienced is if you cannot replace years of experience, you cannot replace human creativity. And so there will always be that need. And we should be looking at these as a tool, not a threat to our work. And that, again, is why I kind of jumped on this understanding journey of like, okay, well, how will this support my business and support the work I do as a social media manager? Um, so for example, this picture here, I am not a photographer. I am not a designer. I am not a threat to those professions. I put this little prompt into Chat GPT and it delivered this image for me. I mean, it's pretty obvious it's AI or computer generated. It's not the best, although I will take inspiration from the hairdo. So that's all good. So yeah, you cannot beat human expertise. Please see AI as a tool, not a threat. Some key considerations for AI, and these are broad considerations. This is why it's important. The reason why it's important is because so many people jump on to using AI without first asking, really, how could I use it? What will it help me with? And then what next steps should I be taking? And these are the same when you're using social media, right? Or implementing a marketing strategy. We need to ask how this could benefit. What is it going to help me with, sorry, and what are the next steps that I should be taking? So some key considerations: cost. Do you have budget to use any of the paid for elements and facilities of any AI tool? Because there will be free versions and there will be paid versions, and the free versions are okay, but they have limitations. Cost at the moment for ChatGPT 4 is about 25, 30 quid a month, just to give you an understanding. And cost for Canva Pro for one user for a year is 99.99. Resources. Do you have the time to invest, and when will you make the time to invest in learning and exploring and experimenting? And do you have the people who will be able to um, keep developing and understanding the change? We've got problem and need. So clearly defining the problem or need for how you're going to introduce AI is going to ensure that the technology that you use will serve a purposeful and strategic role in your organization. Ethics and safety, again, fundamental to AI deployment. There's a lot of conversation that could be had around ethics and AI, but do the research in terms of what data is being used, who's made the platforms, who's created it, what is the responsibility around that? How can you make sure and fact check information and make sure the prompts that you're putting in are not delivering bias content? Training, education, and learning. Obviously, AI literacy within your team and for yourself is absolutely essential, not just for those directly working with AI, but also for stakeholders who are making informed decisions. And this could include user education and demonstration of benefits and limitations of AI. And once you know the limitations, you can start to really understand how it will aid what you do. Developing clear policies around AI use, really fun, again, really key. Policies need to really outline how you're going to be using it, how you're going to handle data, and what the governance structure is. Testing, again, like testing certain sites for accuracy, bias, performance, and various conditions, and understanding what it's capable of will allow you to produce the best results and implement it properly into your business. Development, as I said, in terms of not just the development and understanding how AI is progressing, but how can you be developing your own process? How can you iterate on what you were doing, allowing for adjustments and how and what tools you use, how you're implementing certain bits of copy, again, how you're using it. And we'll come on to that when I show some prompts for ChatGPT shortly. And then transparency. For me, this has been one of the biggest things when I look around the social scape and marketing scape is that there are so many people who are not being transparent with the fact that they're using AI. And there are social channels now which will kind of lead you to note the fact that it's AI generated. But as an organization, I don't see many being open about saying, we're going to be using AI for this reason. Like we've understood the benefits and this is how we want to use it. So being open about how AI is going to model your business or be supported with any limitations, decision making, data, etc. And then, of course, you need to be thinking about plagiarism and originality and how will you make sure that you're going to be fact checking content, copyright. Mistakes. You need to be, don't just put in a prompt, get out content and then chuck it up and publish it because there could be mistakes. Um, there's a term that people use that AI hallucinates and it can create errors. So, it's not perfect. You need to make sure that there's no mistakes when you're publishing it or using it. Cool. So the reasons that specifically what we're seeing research-wise and study-led is the main reasons that marketers and business owners are using AI for content creation is efficiency and time saving, enhanced creativity, first drafts, and for spelling and grammar. So I think that was really important to see because actually this does demonstrate that AI is primarily being used as an aid, and that's how you should see it, a tool, not a threat. How can these tools help you with getting started with something? How can it save you a bit of time? How can it enhance the efficiency? And will it help you with things like spelling and grammar, for example? There are tons and tons and tons of tools on the market helping with content creation. Tons. So again, going back to one of my first slides, what are your intentions? Because once you understand what your intentions are, that will help you to then decide and research what tool it is that you want to use. So we've got obviously ChatGPT, which in the realms of content creation is great for idea generation, for search, for getting inspiration and quick ideas. Jasper AI, I really enjoy this platform. Brilliant for personalizing branded content and for copy generation. Grammarly, I'm sure lots of people have that here, but I've had it as a plugin on our website for years now and all our desktops, sorry. Um, it helps to identify spelling mistakes and make suggestions around better grammar and sentence creation. In video is one that's we're on the market for video creation. Mid-Journey as well, videos and imagery. And if you haven't seen some of the stuff coming out of Mid-Journey, it's pretty epic. SEMrush, really great for thinking and helping and supporting you to create content that is SEO optimized and coming up with ideas and pulling together suggested topics for content creation. And then there's Copy AI, which is another copywriting tool. I believe this is underpinned by ChatGPT. When I started experimenting with this last year, if ChatGPT went down, Copy AI also went down. So again, something else for consideration. Then we've got Canva, right? Magic Studio, which is their kind of AI offering, which allows you to edit images and resize them and do fun things. But there's also some inbuilt AI tools to things that we're already familiar with, something like Hootsuite. I know Facebook is also working on a AI prompt for caption generation. It's baked into Hootsuite, eClincher, if you use that as a social scheduler. LinkedIn is a paid for feature in the premium. So yeah, naturally, you're going to see native offerings on the platforms that you're already used to. So again, explore whether or not they are worthwhile based on what your intentions are for use. But even with all these tools on the market, my biggest bugbear is that most AI content is crap. Um, there are so many mistakes that are out there with AI that come through that does not get checked or edited. And the other thing is it doesn't get personalized. And if you work in this field, and there might be some small biz owners that work in the kind of writing, copy, marketing, they might hopefully be agreeing with me here. But if there's one thing I've noticed, ChatGPT in particular loves an emoji, loves a listicle, and loves a really lengthy post, no matter how many times I ask them to ask it to write one paragraph or write a short message, it just pumps out. And I've tried these with so many different clients, different case studies, different variations. It's the same. And now when I look on all social media channels, I scroll, I'm like AI, AI, AI. And again, this really goes back to that point at the start, was this is a tool to support you, not a tool to replace human expertise. Um, the little quote in the bottom there is something I literally had to send somebody a message on LinkedIn this week because they had sent me a barrage of messages, all AI generated, trying to sell me something. And then the latest one said, I'd really just appreciate you acknowledging either it's a yes or a no. And I went back and said, I'm really sorry, I haven't responded. But the style of the messaging just made it feel like this was really automated. And I didn't really feel like there was a human behind it. So I just left it. Sorry if that wasn't the intention, but I hope that's useful feedback. And funnily enough, I didn't get a reply, probably because it's been AI generated and they've walked away and not come back to it. So these are all those key considerations. You know, if you are prompting something to give you a social media post, read it, personalize it, adapt it, change it so it fits with you and what feels comfortable for your brand and business. So yeah, those people who haven't a bit maybe upskilled or educated themselves, they're happy to pump out the same stuff. But for me, I think the internet already has too much stuff on it. This is why some of those things are coming out the way they are. Why is it crap? Remember our list of key considerations? No one's testing it. They're not developing it themselves. They're not thinking about how to make things original. They're not fact checking mistakes. They might not have the resources to understand what tools are the better ones. But hey, disclaimer, I'm also still getting used to it. And I've produced some pretty crap stuff from using Chat GPT for Naturally Social. But that's my experimentation channel. And that's how I'm learning. So how can you not make it crap? Fundamentally, it's about perfecting the prompt. You need to give it as much information as possible. After this slide, we're going to come on to the demonstration and I'll show you what the difference of a good prompt versus a bad prompt makes. You must remember to personalize it, whether that's taking what's produced and adapting it, or whether you, again, hyper personalize the prompt, but also thinking about your customer and what their needs are. Do not rush it. Don't say, oh, I need to put something out on LinkedIn today. I'm just going to chuck this thing into this writing tool and push it out there. Don't rush it. And remember to think of AI, sorry, as your assistant, not your staff member. They're not a replacement for human experience. They are there to assist with the improved productivity of the work that you're doing. And actually, in a lot of cases, they are there to help you with tasks that you would otherwise probably dislike. Email generation, for example. So why did I pick these two channels today? I think I mentioned this at the start, but obviously everybody knows ChatGPT. It was kind of the first tool that everybody got really excited about. And Canva is most known by small business owners when they get going as something that can help them to produce imagery to go along with their social media content. So yeah, not everybody will have perhaps the 99.99 that they want to spend on the design for Canva, but it is fun. It can be a minefield, it can be a right time suck, so bear that in mind. But it can make it more enjoyable and spice up a bit of creativity. So when I come on to Canva, by the way, caveat again, I'm not a pro on Canva, but I want to show you the fun that we've had with it. And this will hopefully inspire you to see the capabilities. Okay, so this is where we hope it works. So I'm going to go to stop share, and then I'm going to end my slideshow here, and then I'm going to screen share here, and then this one, and I hope it works. Can everybody see ChatGPT? Give me a
It looks
thumbs.
great, Natalie.
Thank you. Brilliant. Okay, so um, first things first, if you've got Chat GPT account, little top tip, I just need to move that out of the way. In your user account here down the bottom, you have got an option to customize. Oh, typical, failed to get to my settings. Oh, it's what you can see it. Great. So basically, you can give it custom instructions. And this will help you to get better outputs. So, what would you like ChatGPT to know about you to provide better responses? And in this box, you can write down all the things that you need it to know. I run a flower business. I am 39 years old. We are, based in the UK, serving this type of customer. Our brand voice is this, this, and this. So you can put all your brand content information into there. And then you can also give up to 1,500 characters worth of information to tell it how you would like chat to respond. So again, tone of voice, um, UK English as well, big thing. Or put all of those things in, and then that will help to improve the output that you use ChatGPT for. So there are two versions. The free version of Chat 3.5 is, I say, it's free, it's accessible, it's pretty good. But the data that it's trained on it runs up until I think January 2023 was the last time it was updated. So it's a little bit behind, or January 22. Anyway, the training data isn't as up to date as GPT-4, which runs up until April 2023. So it's pulling information from the internet that's a lot newer and fresher, and it will tell you that as well. So I'm going to give you an example of 3 prompts and show you the difference in when you give it detail and personalization, how much better it can be. So I've got some on a different document that I'm going to, hopefully it's going to work if I copy and paste it. You know that it's obviously Mother's Day coming up. So I've put here, provide 5 ideas for a Mother's Day campaign because oh no, let's try this again. There we go. So I'm thinking with my hat on, I'm going to be like, right, okay, I'm a marketing person, so I'm thinking about campaigns ahead. And then it comes up with these 5 ideas. They're not too bad, I suppose. But some of these might not be achievable for my business. I don't know I don't have time to write a gift guide. I don't think I need to hold a interactive Mother's Day event. And also, it doesn't know what business I'm in and it hasn't asked me. So how do we know that these are going to work or consider the resources that I have available? So I then decide to give it further detail. So again, just to give you an example here, like it says to launch a campaign, encouraging users to share their favorite memories or stories about their mothers. Okay, but what if I don't have social media? Or what if I've only just launched on social media? So I then put in a detailed prompt to say that I own a small flower business in Wiltshire. We're just starting out on Instagram. Mother's Day is in 4 weeks, and we would like to generate inquiries for orders. We can only supply 10 bouquets due to our size and would only deliver in a 10-mile radius. Please, can you help me with 5 creative ideas for a campaign to support this? And then I hit return. Then it starts to come out with actually things that are probably achievable, deliverable, and interesting. Mother's Day countdown. Behind the scenes creation showing how you make the flowers. What's it like to look behind the scenes of the florist? Yeah, great. Good idea. We could definitely collaborate with local influencers to see if they will share our message. Can we offer exclusive offers? Really good. Then it's down to me to go off and implement these things. And it's down to me to decide if I've got the resources to do that. But based on the fact that I've really niched down that prompt, it's likely that these could be achievable. So if you're a florist, hopefully that's giving you some nice ideas. Okay, the other one, I'm going to specifically relate to LinkedIn. We all know that having a good LinkedIn bio is key for discoverability and interest. Most people, when they get started on AI, would just put in a prompt like this: help write an optimized LinkedIn bio. And then chat comes back and says, would love to. Here's the information that you should be doing. So it doesn't actually write anything. It just says, like, these are the things that you need to consider. Give yourself a call to action, a personal touch, etc. So And he gives a little example at the bottom. And actually, it didn't do this yesterday. This is much more detailed than it gave, which is another thing I love about AI, is it's always different. So it comes on and gives you an example. It might have been that I was using 3.5 yesterday, and it literally just came up with these points here. But you can see how it's summarized. Well, these are the things that you need to consider when writing it. And you could stop it there. And if you felt able to, you could start to fill in this information. But if you're like, oh, well, I have no idea where to start with that, then you can give it more details. So I'm looking to revamp my LinkedIn bio. This is who I am. This is what I do. This is what we're helping them with. And here's a key point. Okay, here's a key tip. Ask AI what information it needs from you to be able to write what you're looking for. You can even instruct it to not begin writing until it's confident that it has everything it needs from you. So it goes on to say to craft this, it loves to repeat back. So it's definitely learned a key listening skill there to repeat what it is that I put in my question. Cool. So then it will say, here's what would help refine your bio. And it gives me all these questions. What I then do, or would suggest, is this little clipboard, copy this, put it into a Word document, and then take out these little prompts and fill it with the information that you, it doesn't have to be detailed, it can be bullet points or just one words. Fill it with all that information, then copy from your Word doc and put it back into the chat. And then it will produce your bio. Not sure if I did it here. Here we go. Um, mm, mm, mm. This was in 3.5, so you can see the difference. And did I not say it loves an emoji? In fact, in this option yesterday, I kept saying, great, but I don't want emoji. I don't want emojis in it. Please can you rewrite it in UK English without emoticons or emojis? I also tried to bribe it and say, I'll tip you £200 if you can make it especially unique. Apparently that works sometimes. Um, and it does, and it has worked in the past, actually, interestingly. It's like, oh, thanks for the incentive. I will definitely try and improve this. But you can still see, and this is about the mistakes thing and the errors, it still produces emojis. And I was like, hello, do you not know what an emoji is? Oh, sorry, I will do it again without emojis. Still has emojis in it. So, but you can see the difference then in ChatGPT 4. It's come back with all of these specializations and extra questions. So then it will come out, pop those in, and it will come out with a bio that you can then copy and adjust and personalize it for you. And then finally, my last demo on ChatGPT is about email outreach, because I know that not a lot of people feel confident or comfortable writing emails. And I thought this is a really handy tool that's definitely helped people in our business. So my first prompt, I've been to a networking event and I basically want to reach out to the people that I met and connected with. So I'd like help with writing an email to warm leads. I met at a networking event recently. What other information do you need from me to do this effectively? Again, gives me the information, event details, purpose of the email, specific topics discussed at the meeting that I can think of or remember, any special offers, or etc., etc. So doing what I said a second ago about the LinkedIn bio, I'd copy that, put it in a Word doc, put the answers in, which thankfully these questions were similar to what I did a couple of days ago. So I have the information ready. You can see there, I've just taken the bits at the end out and put in my answers. Now, based on what I saw was delivered back to me yesterday, this still isn't perfect. It's not written in UK English because I didn't prompt it to do so. Um, and like, I just wouldn't have this as a subject line. Let's turn your social media. And I know that because I'm a marketer. So this is again what I'm saying around don't just put this out there because it's what the first thing that came back. You need to adjust and make it feel like you. So there's no way this would go out as it is. I would take this, change it, reiterate it. But it's saved me time. It has saved me potentially half an hour. Hope that was useful. I'm just conscious of time, and I'm going to quickly go on to Canva. Um, I've logged myself out, don't know why, but uh, here we go. And then pretend you don't see this. All right, so Canva. I need to move you down here. So when we log into Canva, we're going to take for as an example, we're thinking we need to create an Instagram post. So we'll just click on the blank design of an Instagram post with the mindset that we want to create an advert, if you like, or we're trying to increase awareness about the work that we're doing. So we want to create an image, a post to help promote that. Amber, does that still all look okay?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Great. Okay. Um, so I'm just going to try and zoom in. Right. First things first, in my head, I'm thinking we want to help people achieve their goals on social media. It would be quite cool to have I don't know, me kicking a ball into a goal or something and be quite quippy. Again, see, I'm not an advertiser, I'm not a design specialist, but in my head, I'm thinking, okay, let's go with a goal. So, um, if you click on elements, and then scroll down, you'll see this little bit here says AI image generator. You can generate your own. And this is where you are taken to that prompt section. Again, remember, the, the better it is, the better the output. So 5 words to describe pink background with a goal. And then it starts to generate the images. Now, these images differ every time. So I've pulled up here's one we did earlier option for me to toggle to in a sec. And actually some of these are better than the ones that I used for my actual description, my actual image. But you can generate again if you don't like them, and you can waste lots of time continuously seeing what better ones come up. But click on the image, it'll pull it into Canva, click on the right mouse, set image as background, and then it will fill the screen. Here was the one that we did earlier. You've got it here, different goal on the side. We've also then want to input a picture of me, obviously, front and center. So you can upload a picture or take one from your uploads. We've got one somewhere saved. Nope, can't find it. Let's use our friend Kay. Cool. So once I put this photo in, this is when I'm going to use my AI features predominantly. So my next AI feature, should I say, BG remover, background remover. In seconds, my picture is removed. And I've got lovely Kay here being able to move around on the screen. Again, I'm jesting here because it's a bit of fun. And then I know I want to have a football, right? So if I go back to my elements and I put ball, you can scan through all the different balls that are available and pick one. We picked one like this that was in the back of a net. You can see me here. This was my actual photo that I tried to find a minute ago. Looks like I'm saying Woohoo, I've got a goal. I'm going to crop this in a little bit using all these little features, and I'm going to move it so it looks like it's coming through the back of the net. And then finally, I can add a little bit of text. So I'm going to have a heading, click on that, and I might just put score goals with us. If I hover over that, it will come up with the magic write option. And you can rewrite it, you can make it more fun, more formal, change it completely. Join us and score some epic goals. Again, that might not work for me. I might not like it, but I might like the fact that it says score some epic goals, epic wins, whatever. You get the feeling, you get the idea that you can then start to play with it. If I want to change the color of that wording, you can then go onto text color, and actually it pulls through all the colors from the document and it allows you to pick something. We want to match it in with our jacket color because that's a brand color. So I press this little dabber and hold it over here. Oh. Mhm. It will change the color. The one that we finalized earlier was this one. I'll just zoom in. And if you follow us on Instagram, you might have seen that, or on LinkedIn. Again, you can see I'm not a threat to any designer out there, but if I'm a small business owner who has limited resources, funding, and time, and I know I need to create something for my social media and I'm a bit playful, these tools within Canva are really great. So yeah, that is a little demo of Canva, and we are coming to the end very shortly, an opportunity for lots of questions. And I'm going to just share the final point of this presentation. It was something that I mentioned earlier on. So I'm going to... Is that all good, Amber?
I can just see your lovely face at the moment.
Oh, did I not? Oh, hang on. Share, share, share. Ah, here we go. It would help if I clicked share. So go back onto present and then just switch this around. There we go. That all good?
Yes, perfect.
Cool. So if you're feeling inspired and interested and ready to integrate AI in some way, then you must, and or even if you have already started started implementing it, and this is something that you can action retrospectively, create a policy. You must create a policy because this will actually anchor you to your reasons why you're using it and how, but also it's transparent. You know, we don't want to be fooling people into the fact that we're producing this amazing stuff or, it's us behind an email. Be transparent and make it clear about your intended use. This can sit on the front end of your website and it can be included depending on what your business is. It can be included in any onboarding packs as well. Excuse me, the key things that you need to include in your policy: how you're using it, why you're using it, when you're using it, and what you are doing to keep it ethical, transparent, and safe. We have got a very easy free template for you guys if you want it. It's a usage statement. It's not perfect. It is intended to be a base point for you to get started with. If you want it, please email info@naturallysocial.co.uk and please include in the email your permission to be added to our mailing list, and we'll get you added for further updates on the work that we're doing and future AI courses that I'm working on currently. Yeah, let us know. I hope that's been useful. I'm aware we want to leave some time for questions. So there are lots of other learnings about AI. I've popped this slide up. Um, and yeah, this is the Lloyds Bank Academy. And we've also got some QR codes for feedback. Amber, back to you.
Natalie, thank you so much. I've thoroughly enjoyed that. There were so many golden nuggets
Good.
of information. All the businesses in the chat are saying many thanks to you. Lots of love for you there. Thank you everyone for joining and adding all of your questions into the Q&A. So I'm going to dive straight in. As Natalie mentioned, there is more learnings from Small Business Britain, and there's more learnings from Lloyds Bank Academy that were just shown on the previous slide. And if you do have a couple of minutes, please do share your feedback and tell us how you found it. It just helps us refine the program and make sure we're bringing you the best possible advice. Right, okay, let's dive straight in. So I think the question I wanted to address first of all was when you were showing the customization feature on ChatGPT,
Yep,
is that on the free or the paid for version?
free. That is available on the free version.
Oh, that is very good news for everyone. So go ahead, use that. I'm sure it'll be very helpful to make your prompts and the results on ChatGPT a little bit better for you. Okay, lots of questions about if this is being recorded. It is being recorded, and we will send it directly to your mailbox. So don't worry if you missed out on anything. I think a few people's internet dropped, so you will get that. Brenda has just asked, is the magic right on the free version too for Canva?
Yeah, I believe the right element is yes.
Okay.
And then there's like the tiniest amounts of the edit option on the free version. But like things like
Mhm.
the background remover, that's all, and the image generation, I believe is the pro. But Rachel might be able to put some information on that in the chat. She's watching.
Amazing. Cool. Thank you, Rachel. Lucy has asked, what is the best AI tool to rewrite existing content, please? I can't seem to find out how.
Okay, so if we're talking about rewriting existing content, again, my question would be, why does it need rewriting? Is it just a refresh? Is it because your business has grown? Is it that the brand is changing? Um, for me, I'd be going to a brand expert and copywriter to have that done. Um, but if you feel like you need it tweaking, in certain ways, i.e., this needs to be made shorter, or this needs to be made into UK English, or this needs to have some variations because our service is adapted. Something like ChatGPT would be a good place to start in terms of getting ideas for where it could be improved.
Mhm. Cool, amazing. Jeff has put an interesting comment in here. I was looking for inspiration on ChatGPT on specialist style of ballet that we teach. The return document was almost word for word from our own website, a page
Wow.
at the top of Google. Do you have any thoughts on how people can try not to copyright and make sure their content from ChatGPT is a little bit more their own and not take it from someone else's website?
It's such a problem, yeah. Like it's a real issue that this training data has, um, and OpenAI are going through a lot of lawsuits, quite frankly, where people's websites, books have been published online, and all of that has been used in training data,
Mm.
and that's why that to copyright and plagiarize needs to be checked. There is a tool. It's in my slides. I will find it and send it as a follow-up. There is a tool that you can check whether or not the copy generated from AI is has been plagiarized. So
Mhm.
again, it's your responsibility to fact check and understand where it's come from. And if you are able to use it as a prompt and a support tool, then actually you should be creating original stuff.
Mhm.
As opposed to saying, give me a web page, some copy for a web page about this specific business, then it's not going to be original.
Cool. Amazing. Thank you. And I think that's quite comforting for people to know because I think people are very worried about AI maybe taking over their roles, especially as a copywriter. But there definitely is still space for all of those roles, as you say, because AI isn't totally original and it's still important to have those
Yeah.
skills as a human being.
And even if you ask it for creative ideas, right, it's pulling down creative ideas that have been given
Mm,
um, on a website. It already exists. So the originality isn't there. That's why it
mhm.
just needs to be a prompt and a support tool. Um, but yeah, I definitely don't see this as replacing those expert roles at all.
Yeah, Amazing. Richard has just put into the chat, can you recommend any AI tools to generate new professional looking photos instead of taking new ones yourself?
Oh, yes, interesting. Yes, there is. So something like um Mid-Journey, which is image generation. You've also got tools from Adobe that can create photos, and there is also one. Oh, what did I come across the other day? Again, I can follow this up with you with our list of tools. I don't use it that much for imagery, and I still believe that having your authentic photo online is really important.
Mm,
But I will send you some of those Photoshop editing type tools that you can use.
amazing.
See if I got it on
Um,
my phone.
cool. I will just move on to the next question while you do that. Oh, this is the question. Mandy has said, do you have any recommendations for AI video production, generation, or editing tools?
Yeah, so in video was the one that we mentioned earlier. I really love that. It's
Mhm.
super easy and really quite beneficial. It's really useful.
Mhm.
ChatGPT have just announced a new video element to their tool, and they also partner with Dali, I think, and another option to create videos. So yes, it is being baked into chat, but
Mhm.
in video is something that we love.
Cool. Okay, I've got a question here from Simon, and I think this is a larger concern for businesses about how safe it is and how protected the data is that you're putting in. So he says one of his concerns is that there's lots of AI tools that help with keeping meeting notes. Whilst I'm being very careful to position the AI capability, I did find that in one of the terms and conditions, it stated that the use of the content of a meeting for internal and training purposes. Any comment on systems or tools which perhaps are a bit more secure?
Yeah, so I don't have enough knowledge around the data security in terms of which ones to recommend.
Mhm,
But for example, I don't put any personal data into ChatGPT for those reasons.
mhm,
And therefore, you need to probably be looking more at bespoke built tools. So
mhm,
something like Microsoft Copilot and all of their AI features will create an environment that keeps your data secure. And it's definitely a good concern and one to address. That's something that you'd be wanting to work with IT support around. If you found something that you like, um, and how do you use it in the best way possible?
mhm,
And that keeps your data secure because it is possible. You just have to find, to work with your IT and governance to get it right.
mhm. Cool, amazing. Sounds good. Whilst you were talking about being polite to ChatGPT, because I do the same, so I'm glad I'm not the only person.
Yeah,
It seems like everybody on the call also does the same, which I did find quite funny because I've had people say to me, "Why are you being polite to a robot?"
yeah,
But anyway, so Adrian has asked, if you are polite to AI, does it bring back better news? Same, please, and thank you.
yes, it does. Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah, it does. It does produce better results, definitely, and particularly in ChatGPT 4. It's
Oh,
building on that memory function, so it is about that relationship. But yeah, I definitely saying please and thank you.
well, that's really, really interesting and slightly scary, I guess, in a way. Um, okay, so Sylvia has asked, is InVideo free, the video tool you mentioned?
It is free for the first time you use it. It's not overly expensive though. Um, there aren't many free tools that will create videos, to be honest, in it with AI. Yeah, you could try some of the options in Canva, but yeah, there's not a huge amount of them out there.
Hmm. Cool, amazing. Someone has put into the Q&A, I'm struggling to not feel like using AI is cheating and that I should be being creative myself in my role. I don't copy anything, just use it for ideas and starting points. Do you have any tips on this?
I think that it's a shift, isn't it, in mentality because it's not going to go away. And I think being transparent about how you're using it will support your feelings of I should not be doing this because there's nothing wrong with driving your efficiency up, or if you, particularly if you work on your own, right? Like it can be quite lonely, and we know that humans deliver the best work when multiple people are involved. So actually, if you just need a little off the mark starter support nudge, then yeah, use it. And if
Mm-hmm.
you're sending out emails to clients, like have a little strap line at the bottom that says, please know I use AI in my work. You can find out how here,
Mm-hmm.
and put a link to your usage transparency statement. And that might just say like, I use it to draft initial emails, or I use it for a couple of ideas. I think that, and then that will help you to gain confidence.
I really like this idea that I haven't heard anyone else say this actually about having an AI policy and being really
Mm,
transparent. And I think it's similar with things like sustainability and being just transparent about how you're trying to be sustainable.
yeah.
Do you think it will be received well by customers? What are your thoughts on that? Because I think some people, as the previous comment just said, that they feel like they may be cheating, and maybe other people feel the same.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
I guess my thoughts are that the end result of work is not what you are lying about. So if you are editing it, personalizing it, changing it, and making sure it's unique and it's just a starting point and aid, then the work that you produce is still going to be yours.
Hmm.
And I would much rather be, for us, being ahead of the curve is one of our differentiators. So there's going to be a point when somebody in our client portfolio says, well, what do you think about AI and are you using it? And I
Hmm.
can say, yeah, we've explored it and this is how we're using it. And then it
Hmm.
opens up those conversations.
Yeah.
Um, but it's much better than denying it and as a result not using it, because otherwise in 4 years' time, 2 years' time, you would have missed out on a whole bunch of learning opportunity.
Mm. I think, as you say, it's a thing like sustainability. It's not going to go away. It's
No.
become more prominent in everyone's lives, and I think that's actually a really great idea.
Yeah.
Last question before we wrap up, and it's on the topic of being transparent. I just wanted to address it. So Becky has said, "Hi, I'm a social and content marketing business. We have had businesses who used us to pay and write their copy and asking us just to rewrite it." Rewrite their ChatGPT articles. How do we manage this? It's a bit of a rock and a hard place for us, as we know AI is super useful, but struggling with the wide misuse of it.
Mm. So they're producing it and then they're asking them to rewrite it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So um I personally I would be saying, okay, yeah, okay, we can do that. Um the cost is your decision, like it's reduced slightly by this much because you've prompted it, um, or it doesn't change at all because actually we find that we need to completely change the prompts anyway, and actually what you've put
Mm.
out is probably no good. Instead, I'd be having the conversation around like, well, let us take that off your hands because we are upskilling ourselves, we are investing in the tools that you don't need to.
Mhm.
What is it? Why is it that you want to produce this in first and then hand it to us to change?
Mhm.
Because that seems silly in my eyes. So yeah, I would work with them and get them on a journey saying like, right, let's address this. You want to use AI, that's amazing. How can we build this package around supporting you? And then see what
Mhm.
that leads to in terms of tweaking packages and services.
Amazing. Thank you so much. We have come to the end of time. So I know we need to wrap up. Natalie, thank you so much for spending this hour with us and all our lovely small business community. I've really enjoyed
Pleasure.
myself, and I think so has everybody else in the
Good.
chat. We have been recording, so you'll receive it. Don't worry if you missed out on anything. Lots of love now coming into the chat. There are a few questions that we haven't been able to address. So please feel free to maybe connect with Natalie or send us an email at Small Business Britain. I'm more than happy to have a look at that and help you out. That is it from us. We'll be back with more lovely Lloyds Bank Academy webinars, and enjoy the rest of your day. Natalie, any final words just before we wrap up? There's lots of hearts coming up right
I
now.
know, I love that. Thank you guys so much. Yes, please, please, please do connect with us at NLY Social, Natalie Luckham on LinkedIn. I would love to hear from you guys. Drop us an email, info@naturallysocial.co.uk if you want that privacy statement. Thank you all so much for your interest. I really appreciate it.
Mhm. Cool. I'm just laughing. Matt put into the chat, we've come to the end of time. I don't mean the end of time. I just mean the end of the webinar, Matt,
It's gone
obviously.
so quick. Yeah.
Cool. We've come to the end of the webinar. So it's goodbye from us. Enjoy your day, and we'll see you very soon. Bye.